Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel KSS Gurukul. Today in this video we will discuss the chapter 12 of class 6 math, that is ratio and proportion. Before that, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. First come to ratio. Ratio is simply a comparison between two or more numbers, that how many times one number contains in another. It is a comparison by division denoted by the symbol like this, and read as is to. A ratio can also be written in fraction form. For example, 20 is 5 times greater than 4. Or in other way, we can also say 4 contains 5 times in 20. Thus, ratio of 20 to 4 is 5:1 or 5/1. Likewise, Tiny has 4 apples and Mama has 2 apples. Now, 4 is 2 times greater than 2. We can also say the number 2 contains 2 times in number 4. Thus, ratio of number of apples with Tiny, that means 4, is that with Mama, that means 2, is 2:1 or 2/1. Another example. There are 25 boys and 50 girls in your class. Now, what will be the ratio of girls to boys in your class? The answer is like this. 50 equal to 25 plus 25 or 2 into 25. And thus 50 contains 25 2 times in it. Thus here the ratio of girls to boys is 2:1 or 2/1. We can calculate it like this. The ratio of girls to boys in your class equal to number of girls by number of boys. That is equal to 50 by 25. Equal to 2/1 or 2:1. Now, for any ratio A is to B, A is called as first term or antecedent and B is called as second term or consequent. You can note here that ratio and fraction have many similarities between them. Like, we can write a ratio as like as fraction. We can simplify a ratio in the same way as we simplify a fraction. We can find equivalent ratios just as like we find equivalent fractions. Still, ratios and fractions are not the same. There are many differences. Like, we cannot add or subtract ratios, but can add or subtract fractions. The numerator in a fraction represents the number of parts taken, and denominator represents the total number of parts. But in ratio, both the first and second term represents some parts out of the whole part, which is the sum of both first and second term. The ratio written in fraction form cannot be converted into mixed fraction. For example, we can convert fraction 11/5 to 2 and 1/5. But we cannot convert the ratio 11:5 or 11/5 like this. It will remain like this, that is 11:5 or 11/5. Note that to get the ratio of two given numbers, first they have to be in same unit. For example, we can compare kilometer to kilometer, square feet to square feet, liter to liter, etc. But if they are not in same unit, we have to convert them to same unit. For example, we can compare kilometer and meter by converting both to meter. But we cannot compare liter to kilometer, kilogram to centimeter, or rupees to milliliter, etc. as they are not interconvertible. Now let's discuss about equivalent ratio. The concept of equivalent ratio is same as that of equivalent fraction. Equivalent ratios are the ratios that are same in their simplest form. We can find equivalent ratios of a given ratio either by multiplication method, that is by multiplying both sides of the ratio by the same numbers, or by division method, that is by dividing both sides of the ratio by the same numbers. For example, equivalent ratios of 2:3 are 4:6, 6:9, 8:12, 10:15, 12:18, etc. By multiplying both sides of the ratio by 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 respectively. Likewise, equivalent ratios of 30:24 are 15:12, 10:8, 5:4, etc. by dividing both sides of the ratio by 2, 3 and 6 respectively. Let's now solve some questions from your textbook. Question number 1. Out of 30 students in a class, 6 like football, 12 like cricket and remaining like tennis. Find the ratio of number of students liking football to number of students liking tennis. Find the number of students liking cricket to total number of students. The answer is like this. Total number of students in the class equal to 30. Number of students liking football equal to 6. Number of students liking tennis equal to total number of students minus number of students liking football plus number of students liking cricket. That is equal to 30 minus 6 plus 12. That is equal to 30 minus 18 equal to 12. Now the ratio of number of students liking football to number of students liking tennis equal to 6:12. The simplified form is 1:2. This is the answer. Next, the number of students liking cricket to total number of students, that is equal to 12:30 equal to 2:5. This is the answer. Question number 2. In a year, Seema earns rupees 1,50,000 and saves rupees 50,000. Find the ratio of money that Seema earns to the money she saves. Money that she saves to the money she spends. The answer is money that Seema earns equal to 1,50,000 rupees. Money that Seema saves equal to 50,000 rupees. Now the ratio of money that Seema earns to the money she saves equal to 1,50,000 is to 50,000. That is equal to 3:1. Money that Seema spends equal to money that Seema earns minus money that Seema saves. That is equal to 1,50,000 minus 50,000 equal to 1,00,000 rupees. Now ratio of money that she saves to the money she spends equal to 50,000 is to 1,00,000. That is equal to 1:2. Question number 3. Mother wants to divide 36 rupees between her daughters Shreya and Bhumika in the ratio of their ages. If age of Shreya is 15 years and age of Bhumika is 12 years, find how much Shreya and Bhumika will get. First, we have to find the ratio of ages of Shreya and Bhumika, which is equal to 15:12, that is equal to 5:4. Now let's divide 36 rupees between Shreya and Bhumika in the ratio of their ages, that is 5:4. Shreya and Bhumika will get rupees in 5:4 ratio. Means out of 5 plus 4, that is 9 parts, Shreya will get 5 parts and Bhumika will get 4 parts. So let's divide 36 rupees into 9 parts, that is 36 by 9 equal to 4 rupees. Now Shreya will get 5 parts, that is 4 into 5 equal to 20 rupees. And Bhumika will get 4 parts, that is 4 into 4, that is 16 rupees. Next is proportion. Proportion is used to denote the equality between two ratios, or we can say proportion is the comparison of ratios. When two ratios are equal, it is said that they are in proportion. Proportion is denoted by the sign like this, or equal to, spoken as H. For example, 1:2 is equal to 3:6. Now we can write it like this, 1:2 as 3:6, and read as 1:2 as 3:6. When two ratios are compared, 4 quantities are involved. The quantities in first, second, third and fourth positions are called as first, second, third and fourth terms respectively. In this given proportion, 1, 2, 3 and 6 are first, second, third and fourth terms respectively. First and fourth terms are known as extreme terms and second and third terms are known as middle terms. For example, in 1:2 as 3:6, 1 and 6 are extreme terms and 2 and 3 are middle terms. Now let's check some ratios from your textbook that whether they are in proportion or not. The given ratios are 1:5 and 3:15, 2:9 and 18:81, 15:45 and 5:25, 4:12 and 9:27, rupees 10 to rupees 15 and 4:6. First come to 1:5 and 3:15. By dividing both sides of 3:15 by 3, we will get its simplest form as 1:5. Thus, 1:5 and 3:15 are equivalent ratios, that is, are equal or in proportion. Thus, we can write 1:5 as 3:15. Next, 2:9 and 18:81. By dividing both sides of 18:81 by 9, we will get its simplest form as 2:9. Thus, 2:9 and 18:81 are equivalent ratios, that is, are equal or in proportion. Thus, we can write 2:9 as 18:81. Next, 15:45 and 5:25. By dividing both sides of 15:45 by 15, we will get its simplest form as 1:3. And by dividing both sides of 5:25 by 5, we will get its simplest form as 1:5. Now, 1:5 is not equal to 1:3. Thus, 15:45 and 5:25 are not in proportion. Next, 4:12 and 9:27. By dividing both sides of 4:12 by 4, we will get its simplest form as 1:3. And by dividing both sides of 9:27 by 9, we will get its simplest form as 1:3. Thus, 4:12 and 9:27 are in proportion. Thus, we can write 4:12 as 9:27. Rupees 10 to rupees 15 and 4 to 6. As the units on both sides in the first ratio are the same, that is rupees, we can simply write it as 10:15. Now, the simplest form of 10:15 is 2:3. And simplest form of 4 to 6 or 4:6 is also 2:3. Thus, rupees 10 to rupees 15 and 4 to 6 are in proportion. Thus, we can write 10:15 as 4:6. Now, let's know what is unitary method. Unitary method is the method in which we find the value of one unit from the given value of n number of units. And then by using it, we find the value of required number of units. For example, 3 balls cost 6 rupees. This is the given value. We have to find the cost of 2 balls. This is the required value. Now first we have to find the cost of 1 unit, that is 1 ball. That is equal to 6 divided by 3 equal to 2 rupees. Now the cost of 2 units, that is 2 balls, equal to 2 into 2 equal to 4 rupees. This is the required value. This is the unitary method. Let's now solve a question from your textbook. Saina pays rupees 15,000 as rent for 3 months. How much does she has to pay for a whole year if the rent per month remains same? Rent for 3 months equal to rupees 15,000. Thus, rent for 1 month equal to 15,000 divided by 3, that is equal to 5,000 rupees. So, if the rent per month remains same, the amount she has to pay for a whole year, that is 12 months, equal to 5,000 multiplied by 12, that is equal to 60,000 rupees. This was all about this chapter. Thank you for watching. To get more updates about this subject, please subscribe our channel KSS Gurukul.